Hi, everybody. It's me, Amy, from Amy James Creations, and this is Flosstube number 17, I think, which is cool because my birthday's on the 17th, so I always like that date, that number. It is also Erste Advent here in Switzerland. I mean, it is all over the world, but I didn't really celebrate that in America, but here we do. So it's the Advent is the 4 Sundays before Christmas, and you light a candle on the first Advent, and then on second Advent you light 2 candles, and then third and fourth. So we did that today. Put up all the decorations. Took down all the Thanksgiving stuff, and I haven't put it completely away though, because I still had a couple things I needed to show you guys. But yeah, it's been great. We had a lovely Thanksgiving. I cooked and cooked and cooked over 3 days. It was all delicious, except for my Jell-O salad, which I'm really sad about. Because we extra ordered Jell-O from this website here in Switzerland. So it's 3 times the price of what you'd pay for Jell-O in America. To make the strawberry pretzel Jell-O salad. And I did exactly to the instructions, and I even put the Jell-O in the fridge to sort of kind of thicken for an hour or two. I think I put it in there for an hour before I poured it on top of the other layer. And I was using a scoop to layer it in so I wouldn't just pour it on, and still something messed up, and the cream cheese layer kind of exploded into the Jell-O layer. It still tasted good, but not as good. It didn't look pretty, and I'm really sad about it. But my pecan pie was delicious, and so were my mashed potatoes. All right. And my turkey, of course. So that's that. Now let's talk about cross stitch, because this is a channel about cross stitch and other creative items. So I have, what should I show you first? I'm going to show you my fully finished object very first. So last time I showed you these 3 little cross stitches. These are free ones from Punkin Pumpkin, and I finished them on this wreath. Now this wreath was given to me by my friend Ashley, and it had these beautiful, they're like these bright orange flowers. They have a name, but I don't remember what the name is. But of course, after a year, they dried and they kind of started to fall apart and weren't very pretty, even though I was trying to store it carefully down in my basement area. But I loved the bow that was put on, and it's a really nice grapevine wreath, really well made and nice and thick. And so I've just been saving it, kind of thinking maybe I would put one cross stitch piece here on it. But then all these 3 little ones were so cute and perfect, so I decided to hang on those as well. I finished them very simply, just on mat board with some orange fabric, and then I glued in between the 2 layers this little piece of variegated yarn ribbon stuff that I had. It's yarn, really, and used that to tie it onto the wreath. So I can untie these and rearrange their order if I wanted to, or put them somewhere else if I changed my mind about this. And this hangs on our door. So that was my only fully finished object that I have to show you, but kind of it's 3, right? So there's that. And then I didn't do a whole lot else of cross stitch because I made 90 handmade Christmas cards and addressed all the envelopes and stuffed them and wrote a letter and cut it and put it in. We had some friends who were traveling to the States for Thanksgiving, and they offered to take my Christmas cards, so I had to hurry and get all the Christmas cards done in it was less than a week. Come up with an idea for a card, excuse me, and then create it. So that took up most of my time. I worked on those in between work and like, household stuff. That was the only crafting I was doing at all, was working on those Christmas cards. But they all got done. They got out. Whoosh. So that saves me a bunch of money. Plus, I don't have to worry. A lot of times I will drive up to Germany and mail them there if there's nobody going over to the States at the right time to mail them. But this year, with all the worries, the stories I've been hearing about problems sending stuff internationally, it kind of worried me that they would not get there or not get there till like January or something. So I feel much better that they're being mailed from the United States. But that was a huge undertaking. So my little pioneer piece here from Primitive Hair finally got finished, but like a day before Thanksgiving is when I finished it. I ended up changing a lot of the colors. I used black coffee. I used Dublin Bay for the thing. And then I used that variegated DMC for the leaves and the writing. But I really, really like it. And I will put it away in my box of Thanksgiving stuff and fully finish it next year. So that's good. And then the only other thing I did was, oh, no, that's not true. I did work on another thing. I didn't start it. I worked on it. Is my Pride and Prejudice blessing. It's Lindy Stitches. It's a play on the Irish blessing, but she did it as a Pride and Prejudice blessing. And so I worked on some of the words down here. Like I did the Jane, I did this black writing, I did the Charlotte. And I did, I think, some of the writing in... No, I think the Lydia writing was there last time I showed it. But this is coming along. I started the P in Pemberley, and then there's a bit more black writing, and then there's like a thing of kind of those flowers. Let's see if I can get it to focus, maybe. For those flowers down below, I've been working just on it kind of a little bit here and there. But of course, after cooking all that stuff for Thanksgiving, most nights I just quietly sat and watched Hawkeye with my husband. We also watched the movie King Richard, which was excellent, about Venus and Serena Williams' dad, Richard Williams, and how he helped them do their whole career, training and everything. Crazy, incredible story. So yeah, kind of took it easy. I did start a little bit of secret stitching that I cannot tell you until it's been given to the recipient. But I will say I started it on one fabric, hated it. Started it 1/1 on the same fabric, loved it, but it was super hard. So I didn't want to make 3 of these the same like that. So stopped, set it aside, and then found a different fabric and started it again. But I can't show you any of it because it's all secret stitching. But whatever. And then I got all my fabric and floss ready for Becky Pugh and I are doing the Pine Needles Christmas Stitch Along from last year. I have all the patterns downloaded, but I never did them. Sorry, I dropped a couple flosses. I never did them last year. I just downloaded them all. The pattern is still available, not for free anymore, but you can purchase it, and it's pretty it's very reasonably priced for how cute the design is. So if you want to start with that with us, we're starting it on December 1st. We're going to be posting every day our progress. Going to be doing one little square a day, just like on the Halloween stitch, and posting it on Instagram, and then I'll show it in my next Flosstube. I ended up going with, I tried out a lot of different fabrics, but I ended up going with this, I'm not sure what color, 30, I think it's 30 count, 32 count, brownish. It's the leftover piece from what I did my Prince of Peace on. Originally, I was thinking about using the same material that I'm doing all my Prairie Schoolers on, but that is a 40 count, and it would make this way too small. So I switched to this 32 count. And then I'm using, they do have, as part of the pattern, they have like a floss list. Of course, you can use whatever colors you want. I am using all the called for flosses because I think they look great, except for the one I did not have. There is a DMC 94. It's supposed to be like a variegated green. And then it says if you don't have that, use 471 DMC. Well, I don't have that either. And the 470 that I pulled was too similar to 469, which is also on the pattern. So I pulled this Classic Color Works, let's see here, Eve's Leaves. My lighting is kind of crazy. It's 9:30 at night here. Eve's Leaves. It doesn't have a whole lot of variegation, but a little bit, and it's a good contrast to the 469. So I think that'll be okay. And then it suggested 3328, which is like a pinky red, and I'm not sure what it's going to be used for. But my thing is Christmas is red and green. There's some blue in here too. I'll see how often it's used. I may substitute out more green and more red for those. But I decided that I wanted to have a backup in case I didn't like the look of this pinky red. Oh, excuse me. Like if it wasn't dark enough. So I kept the called for 347, but then I have this 815 that I pulled that I'm going to just kind of keep in there on hand in case I need it for contrast, because these obviously are a darker and then a lighter. I keep dropping everything. But this can also be my darker and my lighter if I want more red. Does that make sense? So those are the changes. Instead of regular white, I am using B52 because I just like how bright white that is. And I'm actually, to be honest, out of DMC regular white. I don't have that because I inherited from my mom a whole bunch of J&P white from her. And so I use that on most things, but it's very similar to a 3865. And so when I want a white, I've been just using the B5200 because I ordered a whole bunch of those. So that's going to be starting December 1st. Do we have a hashtag? I mean, they had a hashtag already for the first time around, which I think it was just Pine Needle Sal. I think it was Christmas Sal or something like that. I will look it up and put it in my description box. I would try to be cool and put it across the screen, but I don't know that my editing skills are up for that yet. So I'm not going to promise that, but it will be in the description box below so that you can use that tag and join in. We'd love to see your photos. Let me know in the comments if you're going to join in. I've been wanting to do this, like I said, all year, so I think this will be a fun way. Each little box is pretty small, so it should be doable even during the busy Christmas season, because it's like, 30 minutes tops for each design. And taking 30 minutes to sit down and kind of recenter is a very important thing to do during the busy Christmas season. I feel like there was more than I wanted to tell you, but I don't. I have post-holiday fog brain. I'm lucky that I remember my name, to be quite honest. So this is going to be a super short one, but at least I got something up. I wanted to film before we started our stitch along. I got a tree from IKEA, like a little pencil tree, and I'm going to be stitching a whole bunch of ornaments. Also during December to hang on it, but I'm not in any rush to get those done for this Christmas. It's just a tree for me in the future to have my cross-stitched handmade Christmas ornaments to go on there. But that was fun to do, and I'm gonna look through and pick some things. The other thing that I'm going to be working on this Christmas season, I'm going to pull it out here, is I started this 2 years ago. Didn't work on it at all last year, but want to start it up again. I decided to do a whole bunch of the Little House Needleworks, what is it called? The Hometown Holiday Series in one big piece. If I sit back, I hope you guys can all see this. So I kind of went through and figured out how much space they would need, which ones I wanted. I tried to choose ones that were important to me. So I worked at Denny's, so I needed to have the diner. Oh, there's my needle still in there. The toy store, obviously, because we have to have the toys. The bookshop, because, I work at a library, and every place we go in the world on vacation, we go into a local bookshop and hang out and buy a bunch of stuff every time. The church, because I'm religious. The firehouse, because my uncle and several of my cousins are firefighters. And then there's a few more that I'm starting on. The school, that's what this outline is. So I'm going to be working on that. No pressure. I'm not going to get it done this year, but I'll just work on it here and there after I do my pine needle stitching for the day. If I have more time to stitch, then I will work on this in the evenings. And it lives in this project bag that I made, and with all the patterns and floss. I really need. I do want to get this done by next Christmas. I would hope to get it done. So I need to work on it. I think it's going to be my 25/7 stitch in the new year, so that I can get it done, because this thing is full of floss. I don't know how many times I've been trying to kit up another little project, and it's like, oh, I don't have that floss. And so I'll look in here and it's like, oh yeah, it's one of the 60 flosses, because I put every color that I needed in there. So yeah, those are my plans. That's what I'm doing. I hope you all have, oh, hold on. I need to give you a little bit of Swiss life. So we voted. Today was voting again. And there is we passed the thing to make some, it's called the COVID Gazettes, but it's like make into more law, more clear, some COVID mandates to try to help slow down the spread, because our numbers are growing. And it just kind of generally, there are certain things that our government isn't allowed to make permanent unless the people say they're allowed to. So that's kind of what we were doing. That was one of the big ones. There was a local law for Zurich Energy that we voted on. But yeah, so that was the voting today, and like I said, it's Arista Advent. There are lots of in our town. We had the little Christmas market this afternoon. We did not go because it was snowing and super super cold. It would have been kind of magical and fun, but it was so cold, and I just wanted to be inside and warm. And it's the day after the Thanksgiving for us, so I'm kind of tired. I didn't want to do anything I didn't have to do. So anyway, I wish you all a happy Ersta Advent, and join us please in the Stitch Along, and I hope that you have a nice peaceful start to your new year, and to your new year, to the Christmas season leading into the new year, and that's it, I guess. Yeah. Tschüss.